Now with musician, actor, and all-around legend, Rick Springfield. You know him for hits like Jessie's Girl, his starring role in General Hospital, and now he's appearing in Ryan Murphy's latest legal drama, All's Fair. Rick, it is so great to have you on the program here.
Thank you very much.
So we were looking at this, it's been 10 years since Ricky in the Flash, starring opposite Meryl Streep. It's been almost 45 years since your debut with General Hospital.
Oh, whoa.
Now, there's a picture right there. How about this return to acting? What was it?
Well, General Hospital to now it's closer, General Hospital is closer to the end of World War II than it is to this point right now.
Wow.
We got the whole historical timeline.
I mean, it was a long time ago.
What brought you back to acting now?
I've never really kind of went away from it. It's just, acting is a weird gig, you know. Most actors I know do something else as well, you know, unless you're like Meryl and you go from one project to the next. But there's a lot of free time, so I'm glad I'm also a musician. Fills the time appropriately. You know, I was a musician first. I started acting because I didn't have a record deal, and that was incredibly naive of me to think that I could work as an actor. But you know, sometimes being innocent of something can really be a positive thing.
And it worked out.
It worked out.
So far, yeah, it's just, you know.
It definitely worked out. You're in the new show All's Fair, which has a stellar cast. You play a rocker who's divorcing his wife, played by Jessica Simpson. What a cast. I mean, Naomi Watts, Tiana Taylor,
I know, Naomi
Kim
Watts.
Kardashian.
Naomi Watts is amazing.
What was it like working with this whole group?
It was great. You know, it's for me, it's all about the writing. He has to start with the writing, and he's amazing. You know, I mean, he's incredible. Ryan Murphy's amazing. The stuff he's written and put together. But they were great. I'm a big fan of Naomi Watts. I've loved everything she's done, and it was. But it's like when you're like working with Meryl Streep. You know, it's like you got to get past. Oh my God, it's Meryl Streep. At some point, you know, because you got to relate as the character, and that's always a little bit of a challenge. But you know, it was great. Everyone was into it, and Jessica was a lot of fun to work with. There's some very steamy stuff on the episode, as you may imagine. Yeah, but it was great. It was really a lot of fun working on the show.
So even being the legend that you are, you have some of those oh my gosh moments when you're working with these actors, but it's especially with the musicians that you get starstruck, right?
I don't have many actor friends, but I have a lot of musician friends. There's something about actors that they're weird, but you know,
we won't tell them you said that.
They're an incredibly insecure bunch, and but musicians, to me, they're more grounded people. I don't know, but my friends are, but. I'm more in awe of. I mean, Meryl was. That was like, oh my God. But musicians, you know, like I met Elvis, I met Paul McCartney.
Yeah, what was that like, meeting Elvis?
Oh, it was all right. But no, it was pretty insane, actually. I wasn't a giant fan back then, but I'm originally from Australia. And I had to go back and forth in the early 70s because they wouldn't give me a green card. I had to keep going back to renew my visa, right? And so I get on the plane one time going back to Australia, and there's Elvis sitting in the front. And he looked so awesome. He had jet black hair, he was thin, he had this light blue suit on, his skin looked like you could lick it. And I'm sitting in the back of the bus, right? And he comes back at the end as a plane, just before the plane started to descend, signing autographs and having people take photos. And at the time, I was managed by Steve Bender, who did the Elvis special, you know, the comeback special. And so I had something to talk to him about rather than, oh my God, hey, Elvis, you know. So I talked to him about Steve, and he got along great with Steve because Steve and Elvis got together. I mean, the Colonel wanted it to be, the special to be a Christmas thing with fuzzy sweaters and, you know. But Steve said he walked into the dressing room when they were about to shoot the show, and there's Elvis with these buddies sitting around playing like this, you know. He said, I want to put that on film. And the Colonel said, no, that's not what this show's going to be about. So Steve got Elvis and said, you know, this is what it has to be. And so they were very close towards the end. You know, the Colonel didn't like it at all. It was pulling Elvis away from him. But so I know Elvis was honestly he really said, "Yeah, I like Steve a real lot," and you could feel that it was true. It wasn't just going, "Hey, I like that guy."
Yeah.
So it was very exciting to meet him. Now in retrospect, it's like, "Oh my God, I met Jesus." But it's incredible, that kind of thing, to meet someone, and everybody's a fan of somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is such a pleasure to have you here on the show.
That sounds like a
Congratulations
sign-off.
on the new show. It is
guess I'm
for
outta
now.
here. Okay.
But you're always welcome back.
Nice talking to you guys.
All's Fair premieres November 4th with 3 episodes streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. Thank you once again.